This movie starts off by showing Ava, along with her friend Kyle and her boyfriend Jed, going to Cabo for a vacation. She is the daughter of the governor, and she lives a sheltered, protected life. So her bodyguard, Brandon, also accompanied her on this trip, which her friends did not like. But Ava found peace knowing that Brandon was with her, since she had been terrified of plane rides ever since her mother's accident. As he had always been her savior, he promised to be discreet and let them enjoy their vacation. On the other hand, a little girl was also seen traveling on the same plane with her grandparents. Once on board, each passenger was immersed in their own thoughts and activities. Kyle engaged in playful banter with the flight attendant, while Jed supported Ava's future decision of becoming a lawyer, saying that he is proud of her. But suddenly, the plane made some thudding sounds and experienced turbulence, causing panic among the passengers. Then the pilot said that the noise was caused by some birds hitting the engine. But the little girl, when looking out the window, saw the engine catching fire and the outer layer of the engine tearing away. One of the pieces pierced through the window and breached the plane's inner layer, breaking the air seal. Through the pressure of the air, leading to a catastrophic decompression, one side of the plane is completely blown away. As Ava sat there, she witnessed a harrowing scene unfold before her eyes. Passengers being gradually torn away from the plane, their desperate attempts at survival futile as they have nothing to grasp onto. With the aircraft rapidly descending, it plunged into the unforgiving waves of the Pacific Ocean. Water flooded in and sealed the fate of everyone on board. It was observed that the plane was stuck on a slope under the ocean. Only Ava, along with Jed and Kyle, the flight attendant, the little girl, her grandmother, and Ava's bodyguard Brandon, are alive. Even the grandfather is dead, which saddened them. Brandon informs them that there would be no reception underwater, but help would be on the way once they are tracked. This was an air-packed environment, so they would be safe for some hours. Brandon instructs the flight attendant to find oxygen tanks, but he says they were empty. The grandmother mentions that a passenger had a medical oxygen tank on the plane. Since he is dead, Brandon knew he could take it to keep them alive. He goes to find it and tells everyone to be brave, as crying or panicking is not an option. However, as Brandon is swimming underwater to retrieve the oxygen tank, a shark attacks him. With his last breath, he throws the oxygen tank towards them so they would be safe, but the shark ultimately consumes him. This scene infuses panic in everyone, as Brandon was their last hope for survival. Meanwhile, Kyle breaks his hand, so the grandmother helps mend it. She revealed that she was a lieutenant nurse and had met her husband there in the military camp, and they had been inseparable since then. She didn't know this would be their last chance to see each other, and she mourns his death. As they talk, they notice the plane sinking further into the water and realize they need to find the black box as they can find the survival kit inside. On the other hand, there was a rescue team trying to find them, but as they were deep in the water, it was getting difficult. Suddenly, they saw sharks devouring the dead bodies on the plane and making thudding sounds. The plane was made of thin aluminum, so they knew they didn't have much time, maybe 3 to 4 hours. Also, the plane started tilting further due to all the thudding, which made them think they should try to swim out into the water. However, they contemplated how to avoid the sharks, so the little girl suggested distracting them using bubbles, something she had learned at school. Meanwhile, the rescue team found pieces of the plane wreck in the water, so they realized the plane had sunk. They sent their scuba divers underwater to save anyone who might still be alive. One of the divers saw them inside the plane, and as he approached to save them, in front of their eyes, a shark attacked him and consumed him. So they realized they had to survive alone, as there was no other hope left for them. They now knew the divers were dead, but they could find the scuba tanks to survive. However, as Ava went deep into the water, her boyfriend Jed became worried and dived, pulling her out of the water. Unfortunately, a shark attacked one of his legs and tore it from his body. Due to significant blood loss, he also died, which devastated Ava as he lost his life protecting her. She then dove into the luggage cabinet and retrieved the green bag, where the emergency supplies were stored. As the plane sank further into the water, they realized they had to find a way to escape, as the front of the plane broke off due to the water pressure. Ava, along with the little girl, dove into the water and made bubbles whenever the sharks came close. This tactic benefited them because they both knew how to swim. However, for Kyle, it was difficult as he didn't know how to hold his breath underwater, so he became a feast for the shark. The grandmother lost hope of survival and let go because she couldn't swim. The flight attendant started swimming as fast as he could to escape. Ava had a close encounter with the shark, so she let the flight attendant, Danilo, and the little girl go together, taking the scuba tank and life jacket. They survived. Ava tried to escape but lost consciousness due to the water pressure. She managed to pull on the life jacket and emerged from the water, immediately regaining her senses. The rescue team found her, and finally, she, along with Danilo and the little girl, were rescued. They hugged each other in relief, having survived the ordeal. Thank you for watching.